film this late at night. I don't know why though, but I figured I would. I figured I would make a 3DS or a top 5 3DS games of 2013. So as you can see, I've moved all of my 3DS games out of, or my 2013 3DS games off of the shelf here, or not even shelf, but off of the desk. They're sitting next to me right now, and I've come up with a top 5 of these games that I think you guys will like. But just to begin, I just wanted to say that there's probably going to be some decisions I make on this list that you don't agree with. Feel free to leave a comment talking about your top 5 3DS games of 2013, or maybe even just your top 5 3DS games of all time. That's cool as well. But I figured I would make one of 2013, just to make this, kind of like an early New Year's video, and a, kind of a video talking about what you guys, if you're interested in getting a 3DS, what you should pick up with it this holiday. I'm going to be doing a Wii U version, but probably after the holidays, because I don't have all the games that I want to get for the Wii U yet. So, yeah. Anyway, before we get into the games, though, I wanted to crown my favorite 3DS Special Edition. And this one was actually pretty difficult. In the end, it was between the Zelda and the Pokemon X and Y. And I had to go with the Pokemon X and Y just because I have gotten hands-on with it. And I thought it was really, really nice. I haven't played with the Zelda 3DS XL yet, although I hope to whenever possible. But yeah, the reason I like the Pokemon X and Y 3DS XL is not only does it have a really nice design on it, but it also has a very glossy finish, which makes it feel a lot more high quality, and just makes it the 3DS XL I would want to buy, provided I was going to get another one. So yeah, if you're looking for, a special edition, that's probably my favorite. Then probably second is the Zelda one. But yeah. Anyway, so let's do a top 5 3DS games of 2013. So to start is a great JRPG. Most of these games have unboxings on my channel if you want to go back and check them out. I'll put some links in the description. But yeah, number 5 is Shin Megami Tensei 4. And I had never played a Shin Megami Tensei 4 up until this point. It's a very fun JRPG series about slaying demons and recruiting demons and fighting demons. And there's lots of demons. It's not for kids, definitely not for kids. This is pretty much the only game on this list that I wouldn't say, or that I would say, no, do not get this for your kid, because this one's really dark. It's probably the darkest 3DS game, just with how much terrible stuff there is in this game. But it is a really fun game. The story is great. It's very difficult if you're into difficult games like that. It's a JRPG, so traditional JRPG. It's kind of I think the best way to describe it would be like a Pokemon, but for a mature audience. So yeah, it would be Pokemon for adults, basically. It's got a very mature story, very difficult, and kind of has that monster capture and, fight with element that Pokemon has. But yeah, this is definitely one of my favorite 3DS games of 2013. It's the only third-party game on this list, which I don't really buy third-party games, so that's saying something if I put a third-party game up on this list, because I generally don't like third-party with Nintendo systems. But yeah, that's Shin Megami Tensei 4. That is number 5. And number 4 is a game that the only reason it's not up higher is because the initial hype has worn off. And if I were making this video 6 months ago, or not even 6 months ago, but 3 months ago, this game probably would have been up higher because people would still be playing it. And that game is Animal Crossing New Leaf. Definitely a game that I think a lot of people are going to be upset was at number 4. A lot of people probably want this game to be up higher, but to be honest, the only reason this game was really, really that fun with the community was because everyone was playing it together. At least on my, when I have a Twitter account for my YouTube channel. I socialize with a lot of people online, and we were all playing Animal Crossing together at the time of this game's release, and we had a lot of fun with it. We were always going over to each other's towns, having parties, things like that. And that was what made this game really fun. Once that kind of died down, though, it wasn't as fun. It's still fun, though. I haven't played mine in a few months, which I know I should probably get back to it. But, yeah, I just haven't really been into it in the past few months. But maybe I will get back into it But definitely Animal Crossing is a great game. It's a great simulator. You live in a village and you're with a bunch of animals and you do tasks and favors and things like that for the animals, which sounds like it's really, really boring, but it's actually really fun and really time consuming because you're trying to make money and stuff like that. So yeah, that's Animal Crossing. That's number 4. Number 3 is a game that I think a lot of people are going to be upset is in this spot. But I think this is the right spot for it, and that is Pokemon X and Pokemon Y. I only have Pokemon X. I'll be posting a video about what I want for Christmas later on in the coming weeks, and that actually has Pokemon Y on it. I don't have Pokemon Y yet. I didn't buy it day one with X, but I will be getting it. Anyway, Pokemon X and Y are some great games, as we've all, heard about. These games will probably remain relevant for a long time because Pokemon games, generally, they don't lose their relevancy. There's lots of online capabilities. It's a lot of fun, especially if you do have friends who play it with you. The metagame is a blast. Definitely a great game. If you haven't played Pokemon before, what are you doing? Just try it, It's about capturing and trading monsters and raising them and things like that. It's a fun game. I've been getting into the competitive side of things. Online battling on this game is a blast. I did it in my live stream a few nights ago. And if you don't have Pokemon X or Pokemon Y yet, I definitely recommend you pick them up because they are some really, really great games that deserve your attention. Alright, next game on this list, number 2, is a game that came out recently, and I guess this was kind of placed up here with a little bit of new game bias, as I like to call it. Usually when you get a shiny new game, you are more biased towards that game than a game that came out 6 months ago. That's why a lot of the time when we get the video game awards and stuff, like Game of the Year, we won't see games that were released back in January, February, earlier on in the year. We won't see those games, and that's all because of what I like to call the new game bias, which is completely understandable. And but that's Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds. Zelda is a great action adventure puzzle game, and it's one of my favorites in the 3DS library as of this point. I've been playing through it. I've been having a blast. It's got a lot of great puzzles, and I've definitely been really into this one since I picked it up on launch day. It's been a lot of fun to play through this game. The story isn't that great, but hey, it's not bad either. You go through time, and you go through different worlds trying to rescue these 7 sages and save the world, I guess. But yeah, that's A Link Between Worlds. Zelda's always a great thing. If you've never played Zelda before, you should really give it a shot, although I'd recommend a guide if you are picking it up for the first time. Then yeah, I'd recommend you get his guide with that, because they can be very, very confusing. But yeah, anyway, that's Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds, number 2. Now, number 1 is a game that I praised to death. I forget who the guy was who said this, but during the live stream, somebody actually said that I influenced them to get this game, which I was actually like, wow, that's awesome. That was my thought process with that. And this game, you guys have heard me talk about before. It's definitely on my favorite. It's definitely number 1 on my favorite 3DS games list, and it's also probably on my favorite games of all time list, and that game is Fire Emblem Awakening. So yeah, you guys constantly hear me praising this game. I love this game to death. It is a tactical RPG that has a great story to it. Very enjoyable. If you don't have this game and you're an RPG fan, you really, really you're making a huge mistake, and you need to go and pick this one up as soon as possible. It's a great game, definitely one you can't pass up. Lots of great and memorable characters. I can't wait to see who of the cast of characters in this game who makes it into the next Smash Brothers. That should be really interesting. But yeah, I really like this game a lot. You have an army, you go around, you fight people. It's a warfare game, and I had a lot of fun with this game. I played it on the easy mode, but I think I'll go back and play it on the permadeath mode, where if your character gets killed, they die forever. But there's also an easy mode where they don't. But I had a lot of fun with this game. It's definitely my favorite 3DS game of all time as of this point. Maybe they'll release another one in the series, and that'll take the cake for me, but this one is really good, and definitely one I recommend. So if you haven't tried out Fire Emblem Awakening yet, definitely pick it up. This game is really hard to find in stores, so generally you'll have to download this title, but it's still really worth it. Yeah, anyway, that was my top 5, but a couple honorable mentions. I figured I would go ahead and mention a couple of games that are also good that just barely made the I don't know why I'm saying that. That barely made the list. But yeah, there's 2 games that I thought, were worthy of having a little bit of time. And number 1 on that list of extra games that are good is Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. This game's a great one. I like this game a lot. I wasn't super into it. It was good. I didn't get that into it. Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon is kind of like a puzzle and adventure title. It's a good game, don't get me wrong. I didn't get that into it though. I did get into the multiplayer. The multiplayer is really fun. You can play online with up to 4 people, as well as just within your distance around you. And that's always a fun thing, to play with people around you. I love doing that, and I had a blast with that, doing that exact thing with my brothers. That was a fun thing when this game first came out. I really enjoyed it, and it's definitely a game I recommend. If you haven't, looked into this one, it's a good one to pick up. And then game recommendation number 2, is Donkey Kong Country Returns 3D. Only reason this didn't make the list, there are other reasons it didn't make the list, but a main reason it didn't make the list was because it's a port. But that being said, it's a great port, and it's one I think you should pick up. If you haven't played the original, that is. If you have played the original, I wouldn't go and pick this one up. It seems kind of like a waste of money, in my opinion. But if you just want to try this game out, then definitely go for the 3D version. I think as of now it's cheaper, and it also includes more levels. The graphics aren't as good, but still, the 3DS graphics are very good I think they're good, at least. I'm not like a graphics monster, they must have good graphics. I like having good graphics, but it's not essential to me enjoying a game. And it frustrates me when people say that it is essential to enjoying a game is good graphics. But this game is really good, and definitely one I recommend. So yeah, that was my top 5 3DS games of 2013. Definitely, you guys, check some of these games out if you haven't already. These are generally games that a lot of people have tried and played, and I won't be surprised if you guys have also played them. But if you want to leave a comment talking about your top 5 3DS games of 2013, go ahead and do so. But yeah, it's a great thing. 3DS is one of my favorite systems ever, and I think this will probably be the best year for 3DS. Hopefully Nintendo can prove me wrong, but I think it will be the best year for 3DS ever, because it's just had so many good games this year, and it's been a blast to be a 3DS owner this year. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching the video. Happy Thanksgiving. Please go eat some turkey. Be safe if you're going out for Black Friday. Don't get trampled. Please don't get trampled. That's not a good way to end your life over a $2 smartphone. Anyway, thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.